Hey, take a deep breath. Let's sit together in this space, quietly, softly. You don't need to say anything. Just listen. Just be here. I've got you. Today, we're going to talk about something tender. Something that lives in the silence between words. Something that makes your chest feel tight. Your heart beat faster. Your mind spiral into what ifs. The fear of being left. Maybe you felt it before. That drop in your stomach when someone takes too long to text back. That ache in your chest when a friend pulls away. That panic when you feel someone you care about slowly becoming distant. It doesn't matter if they haven't left yet. Your heart already starts preparing for it. Because deep down, a part of you believes, people always leave. And somewhere in your past, maybe that was true. Maybe you were left, emotionally or physically. Maybe you grew up with love that was unpredictable. Maybe you had to earn connection through perfection or performance. Maybe you learned early on, if I'm not useful, if I'm not good enough, they'll walk away. And so, here you are. An adult, maybe high functioning. Maybe even deeply caring, but inside, you're always bracing for loss. Always scanning for signs. Always trying to be just right, so they won't have a reason to go. And that is exhausting, isn't it? Loving while constantly fearing abandonment. Feels like trying to hold sand in your hands. You're gripping so tightly, but it still slips through. So you start questioning everything. Did I say something wrong? Why are they being quiet? Did I make them upset? Are they tired of me already? Your nervous system doesn't know the difference between quiet and danger. It only knows, connection is fragile, I have to protect it. But here's the truth no one told you back then. You shouldn't have to perform to stay loved. You shouldn't have to tiptoe through every relationship. Afraid that one wrong move will mean you're left again. You shouldn't have to prove you're worthy of staying. But that fear, that hypervigilance, it makes sense. It was your armor, your survival, your way of controlling what felt uncontrollable. Because the pain of being left once was so unbearable, you'd do anything not to feel it again. Even abandon yourself, to make sure someone else wouldn't. But here's the paradox of abandonment wounds. The more we fear being left, the more we abandon ourselves to keep others close. We silence our needs. We tolerate what hurts. We shrink. We chase. We stay longer than we should. We bend and bend, until we don't recognize ourselves anymore. And still, sometimes, they leave anyway. So what's the point? Why love at all if it hurts this much? Let me tell you why. Because healing isn't about pretending you'll never be hurt again. It's about learning that you can survive it. That you can hold your own hand through the pain. That you don't have to disappear just to be chosen. You are not that abandoned child anymore. You have choices now. You have language. You have boundaries. You have a self, a whole self, that is allowed to stay, even when others go. So let's say this together, softly. I no longer abandon myself to avoid being abandoned by others. Say it again. Let it echo. Because real safety? It's not found in perfect relationships. It's found in knowing you won't leave you. Even when you're scared. Even when you're messy. Even when you feel too much. Especially then. That's the healing. That's the work. That's what builds secure love. Not just with others, but with the most important person of all, you. So here's what I want to invite you to try. The next time you feel someone pulling away, instead of chasing, pause. Check in with yourself first. What do I need right now? Am I abandoning myself to keep this connection alive? Is this fear from the present or the past? And remind yourself, I am still here. I'm not going anywhere, because the truth is, not everyone will stay, and that's painful. But it's not a reflection of your worth. It's just a part of life, of change, of human complexity. What is a reflection of your worth? Is how gently you hold yourself through those moments of loss. You don't need to harden. You don't need to shut down. You don't need to become cool, or detached, or unbothered. You're allowed to care. You're allowed to grieve. You're allowed to hope again. And you're allowed to stay soft. Without being fragile. You're allowed to need people. Without becoming invisible. You're allowed to trust again. Slowly, wisely, on your terms. But most of all, you're allowed to belong to yourself first. So no matter who leaves, you don't lose you. So, if your heart is still aching tonight, if you're replaying conversations, or watching someone drift from your life, I want you to know, you are not too much. You are not the reason they left. You are not unworthy of someone who chooses you, again and again, without needing to be chased. They may have left, but you're still here, still breathing, still healing, still becoming. and that is something to honor. So, wherever you are right now, place your hand over your heart. Say this gently: I am allowed to take up space. I am worthy of love that stays. I am healing from fear, not defined by it. You're not broken, you're just remembering what it feels like to stay when the old part of you wants to run. And I'm so proud of you for doing that. Until next time, stay tender, stay brave, and stay here. The love you've been chasing? It starts with you.